TGIF, everybody. It's Matt Martin here with a brand new, all-new live. Hi, I'm live. How are you? In or out, pun intended, here on InRavio.com. I have a big show for you today. We have some amazing entertainment news stories. I got some cool stories from two different places for you this week. Oh, you must be looking at my ensemble and being like, what's going on? It's 108 degrees outside. So I figured I'm not doing the blazer this week. I'm coming in like my lifeguard attire. So this is kind of what lifeguards wear. I'm like trying to be Ken with the lifeguard thing. I got my hair buzzed. It's so hot. So I had to like cool off. Anyway, so we have what we got? Entertainment news. I have some breaking stories for you, some updates on stories that I've reported on in the past. Also, I have EOTM Awards update, and a nominee and performer is going to be calling in. His name is Billy Lord. He's an Americana / country / rocker musician. He's going to be on, and we're going to play his music video that's been nominated for you today. We have a great interview with him. You're going to find out a lot more about him. A really cool guy. Really excited to have him on the program. And then, as always, my infamous, it's becoming really kind of cool. Thank you guys for like making this show what it is. But everybody's been talking about my out holes of the week. So this one I could not pass up. You will not be surprised. And if you haven't heard who my out hole of the week is for this week, I'm so glad to give you the information. That'll be at the end of the show. I am appalled, to say the least. So we have a huge show. Quick announcement. We have Good Morning Long Island. It airs Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. It gives you your hyper-local Long Island news. It gives you national headlines. We have traffic and weather updates for you on the 15 and 45 of each hour. We got some amazing segments on there. Everything from your horoscope to how-tos to rock and roll trivia to cooking with Tony. We have so much stuff on Good Morning Long Island, so if you have a chance, tune in. And if you happen to miss it, of course, we have it in the archive, so be sure to check out Good Morning Long Island. I'm really excited about it. We have some new talent on the network, Taylor Zito and Tom Zaccheo. Cute, cute, cute couple, and they are delivering all the stories for you every morning. Also, we got some contests coming up. At any time, you can click on our tabs above and see what contests are going on here at InRavio.com. We love giving out free tickets to concerts here on Long Island. Just let them know you found out about it here on NRL, pun intended. Hello. And as always, we are 100% interactive, so feel free to call in at 1-855-446-7284. And absolutely, you can Facebook me at facebook.com/onlymattmartin. And on Facebook now, you can hashtag hello, so don't forget to do that. It's hashtag, pun intended, all one word. Tweet me at onlymattmartin, at InRavio. Where else can you get me? I've given you everything except for my address and my social, so you have no excuse to not talk to me. Oh, the chat box, that's right next to me. Type away. I love your comments. I will definitely be chatting back with you during the commercial breaks. So yeah, we got a big show for you. I'm really excited. TGIF, stay cool with me. We're going to go. We're going to come right back with some hard-hitting entertainment news. Billy Lord, my out hole of the week. It is Friday, everybody. Get ready for your weekend with me. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back here on InRavio.com. Welcome back to In or Out, pun intended, here on InRavio.com. Okay, so it's entertainment news time. There's a lot that's been happening in the news. We've been reporting it here on Good Morning Long Island in the morning. So I just wanted to recap with you the culmination of this week of the top entertainment stories. Last Saturday, it broke late at night, the Zimmerman trial of not guilty, and we'll get to that, trust me. But unfortunately, Corey Monteith from Glee, the Glee star, age 31, has passed away. I've been reading up on the, the typical, blogs and entertainment sites. But of course, I'm a fan here of Extreme Entertainment, extremeent.blogspot.com, with Tina, a good friend of mine, and she's got a great story on here. Just to give you guys a recap, the sudden death of Corey has shaken the cast and crew of Glee to its core. While some are tweeting their favorite memories, others are finding solitude in silence. Corey's girlfriend and co-star, one of the lead stars of Glee, Leah Michelle, has asked for privacy at this time. I can only imagine what she's going through. Mark Saling, who plays Puck, is sifting through memories and experience of lots of emotions. He's quoted on Twitter saying, "I'll love you always, brother Corey." This is so sad. An autopsy was performed on Monday to determine the cause of death, and it was decided it was a heroin overdose. Corey had been in and out of rehab a couple of times. The Canadian star, was doing well. He had the support of Leah Michelle. My heart just breaks. He's 31 years old. He's 2 years older than I am, and I can't even imagine. I do remember his story. He was a high school dropout, and he was trying to find his way in life. He's done some other roles and some significant, guest spots, and this whole thing is just, it's really shaken the world a little bit. Hopefully this, I don't know, something good has got to come out of this. Maybe people will start to realize, drugs are not a joke. This is, he looked perfectly normal. Look at that picture of him. He looks beautiful. He looks healthy. This is such a shame. So, to all the Gleeks out there, stay strong. I can't wait to see what Ryan Murphy ends up doing, what they're going to end up doing with this character. Because, they were probably just going to start filming the next season soon. So stay tuned. As soon as I get some inside scoop, I will let you know. But I think we should all respect his family, and especially Leah Michelle at this time, for their privacy. This is something, very public, and they really just need time to find the light and get the love back in their hearts. So that's my spiel on that. Moving on, Jimmy Kimmel got married, and Precious decided to prank his wedding. So she's appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live a few times, donned a white wedding dress, and veiled as she arrived at the Ojai Valley Inn in California for Jimmy Kimmel's wedding. We haven't heard what really happened yet, but the 30-year-old was photographed wearing a red dress and laughing with Kimmel and his new bride. So I think they must have had some kind of inside joke, and she definitely won. The Oscar-nominated actress definitely pulled one over on Jimmy Kimmel. I think it was absolutely genius, and I'm so glad some helicopter paparazzo got this shot of her coming out of looks like a Ford Escape. But regardless, I think this is really funny. In more news with this was like the Oscars of the wedding. You name it was there. Jennifer Aniston, George Clooney, the list goes on. Like, A-list celebrities came out for Jimmy Kimmel, which is really cool because this comedian can be a little brash and sometimes a little harsh, but you know what? It just goes to show business is business. So congrats to him and his wife. Maybe this will tame him a little bit. And now he has somebody to spend all those millions with. Anyway, so into movie news, Despicable Me 2 wins the weekend again last weekend. Grown Ups 2 in second, and Pacific Rim in number 3. Despicable Me, once again, has Steve Carell. His voice is animated in the family film. Took the top spot at the weekend box office, earning $44.8 million to fend off a ferocious challenge from Grown Ups 2, which is led by Adam Sandler's ensemble comedy that finished in second place with $42.5 million. Meanwhile, the sci-fi spectacular Pacific Rim opened up at number 3 with $38.3 million. The Heat with 14 followed that by The Lone Ranger at 11.11, and Monsters University's hanging in there with 10.6 million. Did you guys go out and see any movies last weekend? It was so freaking hot. I would totally steal the AC at any movie theater, including this weekend. Guys, we've been reporting on Good Morning Long Island. I'm going to keep saying it. It's our new show, Monday through Friday, live here from 7 to 9 a.m., and it's completely interactive, just like all of our other shows here, and we report everything hyper-local on Long Island and obviously national headlines. We'll give you your traffic and weather on the 15 and 45, blah, blah, blah. The reason I'm plugging it is because I'm helping on the show. I'm executive producing with Christine, who does my production on this show, and content and directing it. So it's taking up a lot of my time, and it's such a fun show. It's a great morning show. It's a great way to wake up in the morning. But we've been talking about these movies. I mean, I honestly haven't had time to go out to the movie theater, but let me tell you, with this heat, I'm going to make the time. Like today, what was it? The heat index, it feels like 108 degrees outside. Like, oy vey. I am totally not a fan of this heat. So I think I'm going to go see a movie. If you're seeing a movie, tweet me. Let me know what's good, what's bad. Tell me in the chat box. Post on my Facebook wall. All that good stuff. Okay. Speaking of posting on my Facebook wall, this I want everyone to tweet and post about, which everybody kind of already has. I know my show's only on Friday. This happened last week, but I gotta tell you, this really tickled my fancy. Mariah Carey's accessories have always been a crowd pleaser or something of sorts, but now she hurt her arm and she showed up to a concert in these designer slings, and I absolutely love them. She gets a bad rap, but she won't let a little injury get in the way of looking fierce and fabulous. Mariah, who last week dislocated her shoulder during a music video shoot, accessorized her hurt arm with 3 different designer slings while performing at a charity concert in New York last Saturday. And you know what? I expect nothing less or nothing more. She looked absolutely fabulous. She's been getting a whole crap ton of publicity on it, good and bad. You know what? Let her be. You know what? The mom looks absolutely amazing. She's still rocking it. She's still singing it. Anybody can do wrong in my eyes, but right now she's looking good and she can't do any wrong. Moving on. I was telling you before, the George Zimmerman verdict came in not guilty late last Saturday night, and President Obama has made a statement on the George Zimmerman not guilty trial verdict in the wake of the public uproar about the decision. I know my Facebook timeline, everybody had an opinion. Everybody had an opinion. My Twitter feed was going crazy. I think Zimmerman was trending. But after Zimmerman was acquitted of second-degree murder in the death of Trayvon Martin, Obama addressed the jury's decision to the media. And I'm going to quote him here. So if you want a full-screen Obama on this, so it looks like he's saying it. The death of Trayvon Martin was a tragedy, not just for his family or for any one community, but for America. I know this case has elicited strong passions, and in the wake of the verdict, I know these passions may be running even higher. The president continues to say, but we are a nation of laws and a jury has spoken. I now ask every American to respect the call for calm reflection from 2 parents who lost their young son. And as we do, we should ask ourselves if we are doing all we can to widen the circle of compassion and understanding in our own communities. Urges Obama, adding, we should ask ourselves if we are doing all we can to stem the tide of gun violence that claims too many lives across this country on a daily basis. We should ask ourselves as individuals and as a society, how can we prevent future tragedies like this? As citizens, that's a job for all of us. That's the way to honor Trayvon Martin. You know, he couldn't have said it any better. He was trying to appeal to the masses and kind of like calm everybody down. Listen, I have an opinion, you have an opinion, we all have an opinion, but the jury has spoken. You know who's really going to have to live with this? Zimmerman. You know what? Whether he was guilty or not, people were even flashing this back to the O.J. Simpson trial and the injustice and the inequality. But you know what? Karma's a bitch, and O.J. got his over stealing back his own paraphernalia. Zimmerman is going to be watched like a hawk by citizens of Florida, citizens of the United States, and across the world. So you know what? As free as he may be in the legal terms, he is jailed by this country. And you know what? His freedom, he may technically have his freedom, but he will never have the same life he had before. If the president is asking people to like reflect on themselves over this individual, this guy's, he's going to need to have a security detail because people are just not going to have it. So, you know, if you have an opinion, let me know. I have no problem hearing your opinion. Post on my Facebook wall. Tweet me at @OnlyMattMartin using hashtag pun intended and hashtag Zimmerman so I can, you know, specify them just for this. And I'll read some of your tweets next week. Let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know what you thought about Obama's statement. I really thought, in my opinion, I thought it was really classy. I thought it was a really great way to address the nation and in a very calming way, I guess you could, for lack of a better word. It was very much the Obama way, and I think it was a great stand that he took to participate in this. Okay, so that was heavy. Now we're going to go to my good friend, Naughty But Nice Rob. You've seen him on the Today Show, and he's got a little talk show of his own. But he has an amazing blog that he launched, and it's naughtybutnicerob.com, and he keeps up with all the craziness as well. And one of the stories he reported on today was Nene Leakes. We love Nene. But Nene Leakes complains that everybody has a reality show now. You're Not So Special, Lady, is the title of this article. He writes, we are just months away from the premiere of Nene Leakes' spin-off reality show, I Dream of Nene, The Wedding. But the Real Housewives of Atlanta star is not feeling so special. I am excited about I Dream of Nene, no offense. Nene is just pure entertainment in my eyes. But he quotes, just saw a list of the new reality shows that are coming soon. Everybody is a reality star now. Wow, I gotta go, Nene tweeted. Just today, it has been reported that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star, Brandi Glanville, is getting her own spin-off. I gotta call Gina Cotillo on the Gina Show Wednesdays at 11 and tell her to get her nose into this and find out if Brandi is getting a spinoff. Rumors have been going around that she wasn't asked back for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills because her ex-husband, Eddie Cibrian, is refusing to have the children on the program. So I don't know. We'll stay tuned for that. I'll see if Gina can find some dirt. Up next, everybody's been talking about this royal baby. The press has been outside for what, like a month now, waiting for her to head to the hospital. And it's finally happening. Kate Middleton rushed to London after a week away at her family home in the English countryside. Pregnant Kate Middleton plus husband Prince William. By the way, he's not looking so good. He's starting to take after his dad, and it's painful to watch. You know, Harry used to look like the little redheaded stepchild, and he was like dorky cute. Now he's looking, yum. I'm not a Ginger fan, but he's looking good, and poor Prince William. Anyway, so Prince William abruptly departed Bucklebury with a police escort around 3 o'clock local time today. The couple are headed to London. We wouldn't comment on the exact whereabouts of the Duke and Duchess. We wouldn't normally do so on their private time, said a palace spokesperson. William has not yet begun his paternity leave, but rather is simply taking time off to await the birth of his first child. Exciting. Your move, Kim K. Oh my goodness. I'm really excited for this baby. I'm excited for them just as a young couple. I really hope it takes after Kate Middleton's looks and genes. I'm excited for them to have a baby. They're a very happy couple. They went through a lot of trials and tribulations, you know, with Will. They broke up, they got back together, the whole thing. I think they all had time to grow up together. She still looks amazing pregnant. She didn't, you know, like explode like a Shamu, like poor Kim Kardashian. And I'm glad Kim Kardashian's baby came early so it didn't take away from this baby, because I feel personally that this baby is more important than Kim Kardashian's baby, considering, one, it's illegitimate and it's with Kanye West, and I thought he was so 2011. So, no, not even 2011, like 2001, like whatever. But I don't know, they have their baby, Northwest, and then all of a sudden he's dropping an album? Like, hello, really? Anyway, so that's what we got for entertainment news for you. Please be sure to let me know your thoughts on the stories and the headlines from today. You can tweet me using hashtag pun intended. Oh, and Facebook, you can, you know, use hashtags now. I can search you on Facebook. So if you want to do it that way, that's cool beans by me. Be sure to like my page, guys. You can post on that page. It's facebook.com/onlymattmartin. Anyway, so we're going to come back. I have Billy Lord on the program. I've been telling you about this all day. I'm so excited that he's going to be on the show. We're going to be talking about his national anthem tour, his American music album. He just performed for almost 100,000 people in Bristol, Rhode Island. And I've been telling you guys for weeks about the EOTM Awards. He's going to be performing and is nominated, and we're going to get a sneak peek at his music video on a summer's night. So guys, stay tuned. We got a big show and more to come. You're watching In or Out, pun intended, here only on InBravio.com.
InRavio.com.
Stop putting it off and start painting it up today at Ben's Paint Station, featuring Benjamin Moore Paints, Sickens, wood finishes, paints, and professional paint supplies, ideal for contractors and homeowners, stain paints and epoxies, family owned and operated, in business for over 55 years, professional and experienced help, located at 2 locations, 55B Route 25, Coram, Long Island, New York, and 1495 Plaza Montauk Highway, Mastic, New York. Call them at 775-7435 and 775-8135. Ben's Paint Station, featuring Benjamin Moore Paints. Log on to the InRavio advertisers page today.
Hey, this is Chuck from the Two Guys and a Chick Show. Check us out Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, where we talk about stupid news, email bag, and all-around BS. Two Guys and a Chick Show, only on InRavio.com, broadcasting to the world.
Welcome back to an all-new live In or Out, pun intended, here on InRavio.com. So I've been telling you all show we're going to have Billy Lord on, and I'm a man of my word. We have Billy. He's standing by on the phone. Just so I can give you a quick recap on who Billy Lord is. He's a current country artist musician with like an Americana taste. His music has been compared to Kid Rock, Chris Daughtry, with a flair of Bruce Springsteen. He currently resides in New York City, but is a homegrown kind of boy from Bristol, Rhode Island, where he just performed for their Independence Extravaganza music festival that they had, where thousands upon thousands of people showed up to see him perform. He's on a national tour covering the country, writing his next album, National Anthem. It's by the people, for the people, as he'll tell us all about later. And coming up, I've been telling you guys about this for months now, the EOTM Awards. He's one of those I've been mentioning that's a nominee, and he's also performing, so we're going to talk about his journey to LA. So without further ado, Billy, are you there?
Hello, Matt Martin.
Hello, Billy Lord. How are you today? It's hot.
It's a hot one, but
It's a sticky
I'm
one.
tucked away neatly inside with the AC and my guitar, and I just working on some songs. I just placed it aside because I always have time for you.
Awesome. Thanks. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. So I want to go and dive right in. One of the first pictures I have up is of you singing in Bristol for the Independence Day concert. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've told people that, for musicians and artists, everyone has their Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And for me, playing in my hometown for the biggest 4th of July celebration in the country and the oldest, the longest running, having grown up in this town, it's what people spend 364 days of the year planning for 4th of July. It's the biggest deal ever. About 100,000 people descend upon this quaint little harbor town in Rhode Island, and it's just an incredible celebration. And, I haven't missed one in over 30 years, and to come back and play before my friends, and now my friends' children and their parents, and my baseball coaches, and just the people who've known me my whole life, that was my Madison Square Garden. That was an emotional moment for me, and really to see the type of crowd that came out to support me on that show, it was very humbling and just incredibly moving. We had a record-setting crowd for a 3rd of July show. And, of course, it was right before the fireworks. It couldn't have been any more dramatic. And it was a benchmark for me in my career as well. I just couldn't have been happier about it.
And now, this was kind of like a full circle moment for you as you kind of just stepped on upon a little bit. Because coming from Bristol, Rhode Island, you haven't necessarily been, quote-unquote, a musician your entire life. This kind of evolved for you in the recent years. So if you want to give us like a quick synopsis of where William Lord became Billy Lord.
Absolutely, and I think that this is hopefully a story that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, I find it very inspiring.
In our times and in our economy, my life was like a lot of other people, just sort of cruising along, working in corporate life, wearing a suit to work every day, hair parted on the side, neatly trimmed. Sometimes I'd shave twice a day. I was so into being clean and neat, which people who know me now can't believe, but that was my life. And I was a family man, and built for 15 years a life, a home and a life for my family. And in 2009, when the economy hit the skids, I was in one of the worst industries to be in, which was print publishing, which was already taking a hit from online media. And then when the economy just dropped out, the advertising budgets, it just went south. And I found myself without a job and really without anywhere to go. There were no opportunities left. So just trying to survive at that point, within a year's time after losing my job, I lost my house, I lost my marriage, I lost pretty much everything that I had come to know as my life, as my identity. And just to make ends meet, or try to make ends meet, I was working 3 odd jobs. And one of those odd jobs was unloading trucks in New York City, uptown. And I would get out of that job at 3 a.m., and by that point, I did not have an apartment to live in because I had to sublet my apartment. I just couldn't afford it anymore. So So I'd work truck unload, and I would get out about 3 a.m., and that's when I kind of rediscovered this old guitar that I'd had, and for about 20 years, and I never played. And the intention was always there to play, and I guess that the timing was finally right because it was all I had left, my last material possession. And I would get out of work at 3 a.m. with nowhere to go, and I just started teaching myself how to play that guitar. And almost from the beginning, I was hearing songs in my head and started writing and figuring them out on the guitar and working with the most basic of chords and really trying. It was more to pass time, just to get to the morning initially, just to get to sunlight.
To get through your day.
I'd find a park or someplace to play, and
right.
I was just passing time to get to the sunrise. But then it became a discovery where it was something that I absolutely loved, that I had a passion for, that I was, from somewhere receiving inspiration from music for songs. And I just started out, and I was absolutely terrible. And at night, I would work on writing, and during the day, I would perform in Union Square or Tompkins Square Park or the subway, anywhere that I could play. And by and large, people ignored me, which is pretty common in New York City. But it gave me an opportunity to just keep working.
Right.
And within a year's time, that work paid off in the form of the album American Music, that was pretty much written on the streets of New York City during the evening hours.
And that's a perfect segue because next I was going to ask you about your current American Music tour. We have a graphic up that you had a poster up that you had at your merch table at the Independence Festival with all your tour dates. You've been everywhere from Florida to Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, Rhode Island, Arizona, California. You have Nevada coming up, Colorado, Oklahoma, back to Texas. You're all over the place. You're hitting everything.
Yeah, it's really funny because I initially went cross country with my parents when I was about 9 or 10 years old, and just the memory of seeing different places just always remained in my mind and in my heart. And when I wrote the first album here in New York City, and the music that was coming out was, as you said, very Americana, almost like a country lean, but I look at it as almost more like a more rock country Mellencamp sort of music. But because that music was so geared towards the center of the country, I felt it was really important for me to get out and tell the story of America through my music, to meet the people that would inspire the songs. They would come from a place other than just me sitting in New York City, but actually meeting the characters behind it, seeing the places, and breathing that life into the lyrics, into the music itself. And so, I embarked on this tour, jumped on a motorcycle with a guitar on my back, with a very loose plan of where I was going to go. And as far as my touring and my gigs, some of them are planned in advance. Many of them are on the spot. I've crashed a couple of shows, which has been great, and I've had some really gracious musicians allow me to open for them last minute, or even jump in the middle of their set and play. I've played in laundromats, wherever anyone would listen to me. I want to play, and I want to meet people, and I want them to be introduced to me, my music, what I'm trying to do, and I want to hear their stories. I want to tell their stories from the road. So far I've logged 2,600 miles on the bike since mid-May, and the bike's in San Antonio now.
And what kind of bike is it? It's a Harley.
It's a Harley.
Right.
It's a Harley Iron 883, which is not a fantastic bike for long
or cross-country driving, right?
But I've fallen in love with the bike, and I'm actually experiencing some serious separation anxiety right now, being away from her. So it's been tough.
And now, what's been the experience and the feedback you've been receiving from people as you're, traveling the country, and you're kind of couch surfing, just going by the seam of your pants type of saying, just traveling along, meeting people, writing. What's that experience been like for you? What have you found the most surprising about being on the road and just random encounters with people?
Well, I think the thing that sticks out the most for me, and like you said, there's a lot of unknown. Every day is an unknown for me. I don't know, how I'm going to make my gas money or my food money, where I'm going to play, where I'm going to end up, how far I can make it with the gas that I have. And the one thing that I can tell you, the common thread, is that people across the country are just the most generous people that you could ever imagine. And, you know, you hear a lot of bad news. I mean, we're always hearing the bad news from our media outlets. And really what you experience out there is that, you know, there are people living really beautiful, simple lives that are centered around some just incredible principles. And music is something that, you know, everybody has a song in their heart. Everybody, you know, is singing while they're walking to work or in the car. It's everywhere. So when people see me and I'm in a laundromat and I pull out my guitar, there's that gravitational pull of music. It's a universal thing. It's a love for people. It's a joy. It's an energy. It's transformative. And so, you know, like I said, I could, you know, open up my guitar case in a grocery store. People would come over and it's a curiosity there. But,
Right.
you know, when I tell them my story and I tell them what happened and I tell them that I had everything and I lost everything and what I found on the other side of losing everything, which was, you know, freedom, reinvention, joy, passion for what you do, people are attracted to that and they relate very strongly to that. And then the music, the reception in the music has been incredibly strong. And, you know, everywhere I go, I have little cards that I give out with the national anthem story on the back and all of my information on social media. And, you know, it just, the fan base is growing and word of mouth is growing and hopefully some sort of legend that, hey, here's a guy that had a really secure life like you and me who did something completely different and took a risk. And, you know, one of those risks, I never rode a motorcycle, Matt, before I jumped on this bike and went.
Be a motorcycle of all things.
Well, I mean, there are two motivations, and one is a little bit more romantic, and that's the you know, the vision of riding free and being out in the open air and feeling the wind, you know, in your face and your hair. And the reality of it is that the gas is so much cheaper. And really,
And you don't have to worry about roadies or, you know, having a pit crew. What are they going to ride on the back?
Right. I mean, it's true independence in that way. It was something that I thought, listen, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to throw caution to the wind. I'm not going to know what happens to me every day. I have to do something that I feel at least is reasonable. And I thought, you know, I don't have to make a lot of money. It takes two gallons to fill my tank, so it's about $7 to fill the tank.
Oh my God! Are you stopping for gas every 10 minutes?
No. I stop for gas probably about once every 2 hours.
Okay.
If I'm driving straight, which is not bad at all.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's about freedom. It's about experiencing, you know, the back roads and going places and having access.
And seeing the country with your own eyes, really.
Yeah.
The grassroots. It's kind of like a grassroots effort to see the country.
Well, you know, when you're in a car, it's, you know, you're sheltered from the outside, and when you're on the bike, you're part of the outside. And, you know, for whatever reason, it really does feel like you're absorbing your surroundings. You're seeing things that you don't ordinarily see. There's like a heightened awareness when you're on the bike. And there's a fear when you're on the bike because it's a very real thing. You know, you feel your mortality on the bike. And it's not a bad thing. It's an energy. And for me, it's been very, very inspiring. And like I said, I really miss it. And I've never felt more free, you know, in my life before either. And it's kind of, it's that Lone Ranger sort of concept.
Right.
Know? It's really, you're by yourself. And, you know, I have no radio. I'm in my head for hours upon hours. And, you know, my life is playing back through my head while I'm crossing this country. The decisions that I've made, some of the things that I regret, the bad decisions I made, some of the good things. But you're really in your own head, and you have quite a few revelations.
And now, coming up soon, I've been plugging the EOTM Awards for weeks now. And when the nominations came out, we actually had Carla, the director of the EOTM Awards, on the show, and she revealed live the nominations. And of course, I was ecstatic when I found out you were in the top 4 for Best Country Video for On a Summer Night. I was like, yes! I was like so ecstatic. So, what are you doing in prep? Are you like stoked? Are you like trying to just stay calm? Like we got, I think I just checked on my website. Guys, you can find out everything on Billy at billylordmusic.com. But of course, you can find everything on Billy on onlymattmartin.com in regards to the EOTM Awards and everything else. I think the countdown is 15 days into the EOTM Awards. So that gives us just about 2 weeks to get our asses ready for LA. So what are you doing in prep for your performance?
Well, interestingly enough, this entire journey, this cross-country journey, I've played 35 shows in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And I really think that without even realizing it, that's been great prep for the show. And then to go back to Rhode Island and play for a record crowd, the nerves are gone now. I mean, it's part of who I am. I'm playing and singing every single day. And I feel like I've crossed some sort of, barrier where it's a natural thing. Not to say that there aren't specific preparations that I'm making for the show. There are. And but it's essentially just practicing like I do every single day, and particularly on that song.
Right.
I'm excited about the OTM Awards. More excited about that than almost anything, and I've got a lot of things to be excited about. But I'm just really looking forward to getting up there and people seeing who I am and really feeling the song. And I think they're going to see a very special performance. I know that vocally I've taken a lot of leaps from the track that's on the album, which was my first time in the studio, and that was only the second song that I had recorded.
Wow.
So you're going to hear, a slightly different version, more impassioned, more aggressive vocally, and with a lot more energy. So I'm just really excited for people to see it.
And also coming up, you're working on the National Anthem album. Do we have a time frame when people can start looking forward to that?
Well, as you know, part of this journey is, for me, the cross-country journey is not just playing live, but it is to find the inspiration. And I always say the songs are out there. Mm-hmm. And so far, I've found about 6 of them so far.
Awesome.
And I'd like to do about 13 original songs for that album. I have probably another month and a half that I'll be on the road, but I'm expecting to be in the studio and finishing up that album before the end of the year. So I think people can expect National Anthem to hit stores probably late this year or early next.
Awesome. And currently they can get your American Music album on billylordmusic.com, correct?
You can get the physical CD on billylordmusic.com or amazon.com, and you can get the album on iTunes as well.
And you also have, which I'm obsessed with, the Billy Lord station on Pandora.
Yeah, that was quite an honor and a distinction, and it was a long time waiting for their process to go through. The Pandora process is amazing. How they take your music and all the different parts of your music and how they compare and analyze them to other musicians and other songs. And it's always interesting for me to see what artists pop up on my station and
right
just
that you're compared to. It's kind of like pinch me.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when somebody was like, "Oh, I'm listening to Billy Lord station and Train just came on." I was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." I mean, I would never have thought of Train.
Right.
But these guys are experts, so they know exactly what they're doing.
Right.
So it's fascinating to me, and I'm very honored to be. I felt kind of like officially official when I got a Pandora station. That was pretty cool.
Well, he's also on Twitter. Everyone, you can follow him there. It's at Billy. Everything's really easy to find Billy. Everything's at Billy Lord Music. His Facebook page, just look up Billy Lord, and you'll find him that way as well. And I think my mic is dying, so we're going to go. We're going to come right back. But on our way out, you guys are going to be able to watch On a Summer Night his nominated video that he will be performing to at the EOTM Awards. We're going to go and come right back. You're watching In or Out, pun intended, here on InRavio.com.
passenger side. You were born to ride. Bottle sweating pressed between your thighs, hanging out of the window, your hand in the sky, fingers spread out wide, just you and me in time, throwing all our cares aside, on a summer night, on a summer night. Laugh with friends under carnival lights. No liquor allowed, we got it inside and snuck it on the ride. Drove to the beach, built a fire, cheeks red from the heat, running my hands down your side. Don't worry, girl, it's alright. Just you and me in time, throwing all our cares aside. On a summer night, on a summer night. And your front porch windows like a speaker on a radio, playing some sad song from a summer long ago. When I hear your mama singing, know it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Back to the stairs, running out of breath. Got nothing to lose when you got nothing left. Kicking stones down that path. Slam the door, throw the car and drive. Count the cash in your pockets, we'll add it to mine. Where this is ride or die. Just you and me in time, throwing all our cares aside. On a summer night, on a summer night, on a summer night, keeping it dry.
And we are back, and it is time for my outhole of the week. Guys, this one is a touchy subject. This news story broke on Wednesday, and it has definitely been something people have been talking about for quite some time. It is the Boston bomber. Christine, give me his name again. Johar Tsarnaev. And currently, he is going to be on the cover of the August issue of Rolling Stone magazine. The American magazine has stirred up a shiitake storm of controversy by putting up a photo of the Boston Marathon bombing suspect on its cover of August's issue. The magazine says its article on Sharnev, whatever his bastard's name is, was based on interviews with his friends, neighbors, teachers, and Boston area law enforcement officials. It describes the story as a heartbreaking account of a charming kid with a bright future became a monster. The cover photo looks like those of many Rolling Stone issues featuring rock stars. Some Twitter users described its use as disgraceful. This is an unacceptable and a slap in the face for those who he killed in Maine, said one comment on the magazine's Facebook page, where they revealed this breaking news on Wednesday. Someone else said, quote, I will never buy a Rolling Stone ever again, period, disgraceful. I am kind of in agreement. As you can see, this photo looks more of like a photo shoot type photo. He looks like a member out of One Direction, or, you know, The One, or whatever that group is. This photo is actually what was his Twitter account profile picture. Both him and his brother and his older brother, Tamerlan, were accused of carrying out the April 15th attack in Boston that killed 3 people and wounded more than 260 others. Tamerlan was killed in a shootout with police, and this one has pled not guilty to all charges. Rolling Stone has been known, guys, though, to stir up some controversy with its covers. One of the most controversial ones came back in 1970 when they put the serial killer Charles Manson on the cover. Now, in the 70s, we really didn't have issues with social media, but I just know that my Twitter and my Facebook feeds have been bamboozled, so to speak, with this cover. I personally find it extremely offensive. I think it's in poor taste by Rolling Stone. There are so many more things that Rolling Stone is known for in regard to music and entertainment news. This is not to be an entertainment story. This is not for our entertainment. This should be covered by news outlets and news outlets only. I could see if they put a picture of this gentleman on Time magazine, but not in a glorified light as it is profiled on the cover of this Rolling Stone issue. It is actually on newsstands today. Local businesses, like, for instance, CVS and what was the other one? I know CVS refuses to put the magazine on their newsstands. There have been people that have been posting that they will no longer, essentially, they will boycott businesses that are putting the magazine on the stands. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but I do find it good that corporate America is taking some sort of responsibility behind this. And wow, I mean, this Rolling Stone, you're definitely my out-hole. But they did post on their Facebook wall, and I'm going to quote, we have it there for you. It says, "Our hearts go out to the victims of the Boston Marathon bombing, and our thoughts are always with them and their families. The cover story we are publishing this week falls within the traditions of journalism and Rolling Stone's long-standing commitment to serious and thoughtful coverage of the most important political and cultural issues of our day. The fact that, I can't say his name, is young and in the same age group as many of our readers makes it all more important for us to examine the complexities of this issue and gain a more complete understanding of how a tragedy like this happens. The editors." Okay, let me just address this. I appreciate that they want to take a journalist aspect to this story. I feel like it could just be a blurb. I feel like the Jay-Z story is much more inclined to be a cover story than this story. They're definitely shaking things up. So I guess they're getting what they were asking for. My producer and I were actually discussing this, and this is pretty much a social experiment to see how people are reacting and how people feel about this. I mean, I went to the article. I briefly read through it. It isn't a glorified article by any means, so I will give them that defense, I guess. It is a hard-hitting news story and an interview and a first-hand account from police enforcement and public officials. I am in total agreement with many. I'm just going to quote some people that have posted on their Facebook page. You can include the story without glamorizing him by putting him on the cover. Total BS cop-out excuse. Currently, at this hour, that has 6,588 likes and 203 replies. Another gentleman posted a comment on this on Wednesday saying, I just canceled my subscription, which I've had since 1972. Guys, let me know what you think about this. This is going to probably be an ongoing story. Maybe it will change when people read the article. I refuse to spend money on the Rolling Stone magazine. I will read it online for free and have my opinion based on that. But everybody's been talking about it, so I want to hear your opinions directly, my viewers, my friends, my family. I want you guys to post on my Facebook wall, facebook.com/onlymattmartin, and let me know what you think about this. Hashtag Rolling Stone, hashtag pun intended on Twitter. You can tweet me at onlymattmartin. Let me know. I will definitely share your opinions on air. Watch your language, please, because I can only do so much. We are on TV, after all. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. So to end the show on a positive note, the weather for this weekend looks absolutely gorgeous. Please just remember we have heat indexes out the wazoo for this whole weekend. It feels like 108 degrees outside today, and that's not an exaggeration. That's really what it feels like outside, so be sure to stay hydrated. We have so much going on here at Embravio. We have some contests I need to tell you about. Let me pull them out for you. Where were you? Oh, well, I do know that Leanne Rimes is coming to the Paramount, as well as RuPaul's Drag Race Battle of the Sexes. They're going to be at the Paramount this winter. We have a whole bunch of concerts and stuff for giveaways for the Paramount, for the Emporium, for the Suffolk Theater. You can click up above on the contest tab and see what you would like to go to. We're giving away tickets to a whole bunch of amazing shows. When you click the enter to win, be sure to let them know you found out about it here on In or Out Pun Intended. And then we will be sure to let you know of concerts coming up. I am so excited to take a break this weekend. Let me know what you're doing this weekend. Tomorrow I plan on just relaxing, but if you guys got something cool going on you want me to know about, let me know. Also, if you have a show idea or you want to come and be a part of my studio audience, you can email me at talkshow@onlymattmartin.com. If you have any ideas you want somebody to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you on. Guys, I want to thank Billy Lord for being with us today. I want to thank Tina Pizarro for her amazing stories from extremeentertainment.com. Also, a shout out to @NaughtyNiceRob on Twitter for some fun stories today. You can find out more about his blog on naughtybutnicerob.com. That's where I'm getting all my entertainment news, and you should too. Also, tune in every Monday through Friday from 7 to 9 for Good Morning Long Island, our brand new show that is taking up an amazing amount of my time, but it is so worth it. Wait till you guys watch. Have a great weekend. I will see you again next week here, 6 o'clock live for an all new In or Out, pun intended. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next week.